Hello and welcome back to AdaPulse, the Catalyst Fund and News channel. It's keeping you up to date with everything Cardano. And as you saw earlier in the week in part one, we were discussing the relevance of the SEC in today's technological financial era. And it was by one of our talented writers, BlockSplained, who you may have seen on the YouTube channel. Now, if you haven't seen part one, you can go back and have a look. I'll include a link. But it was an intro of the situation, discuss the origin of the SEC, the evolution over the years, and some of the scandals and controversies that it faced. But now we're talking into part two, and we're talking about the SEC in the modern world. Also, the SEC and cryptocurrencies, a troubling stance. Is the SEC still relevant today? And we'll round it off. Stay till the end when we discuss what does this all mean. So do remember to click the like button, hit subscribe, and hit the bell button for the notifications. And do share far and wide. We want as many people as possible to see this content. And so with that, I am Josh from ATM Stake Pool, your presenter for AdaPulse for today. Let's crack on with part two. Now, before I crack on, I just want to remind you, remember, this is a much dumbed down version. You can see the full article online, and it is a real in-depth piece, so it is worth checking out. And I had to split this into two parts. But let's crack on with the next chapter, which is the SEC in the modern world. Now, the SEC is facing new challenges in the 21st century as the financial industry undergoes rapid technological changes. The agency is grappling with issues such as high-frequency trading, robo-advisors, and cryptocurrencies. So the SEC is working to adapt its regulatory framework to ensure it kind of stays effective and relevant in the face of these changes. So here's some specific examples of the SEC's challenges that they're facing. So like I said, high-frequency trading. The SEC is concerned about the potential for market manipulation by high-frequency traders who use algorithms to execute trades in microseconds. Then you have robo-advisors. The SEC is working to ensure that robo-advisors meet the same standards as traditional investment advisors, particularly regarding, disclosure and suitability requirements. And then, of course, we have cryptocurrencies. The SEC is still trying to determine how to regulate cryptocurrencies, which are a new and unregulated asset class. Now, the SEC is facing a number of challenges as it tries to adapt to the changing financial landscape, but the agency is committed to protecting investors and maintaining fair and efficient markets. The SEC and cryptocurrencies, a troubling stance. Now, the SEC has recently taken legal action against two of the largest cryptocurrency exchanges. That's Binance and there's Coinbase. Now, the SEC alleges that both exchanges violated security laws by offering and selling unregistered securities. The SEC's actions have been met with, obviously, criticism from some in the cryptocurrency community who argue that the SEC is trying to stifle innovation in the industry. Now, the SEC's actions are part of a broader trend of increased sort of regulatory scrutiny of the cryptocurrency industry. So in recent years, the SEC has brought a number of enforcement actions against cryptocurrency companies, and it also proposed new regulations that would apply to the industry. Now, the SEC's actions have raised concerns among some in the cryptocurrency community that the government is trying to stifle innovation in the industry. The SEC has defended its actions, arguing that it's necessary to protect investors from fraud and abuse, in the cryptocurrency market. The SEC has also said that it's open to working with cryptocurrency industry to develop regulations that will promote innovation while protecting investors. Now, the SEC's actions are likely to have a significant impact on the cryptocurrency industry. The industry is still in its its early stages, and it's unclear how to respond to the increased regulatory scrutiny. It's possible that the industry will become more fragmented as companies move to jurisdictions with more favorable regulatory environments. It's also possible that the industry will become more centralized as companies seek to comply with the SEC's regulation. Now, you can argue that the SEC's actions are a sign that the government is taking the crypto industry seriously. But it remains to be seen how the industry will respond to the increased regulatory scrutiny. Is the SEC still relevant today? Now, the SEC is still relevant today, but it needs to adapt its regulatory framework to the unique challenges posed by cryptocurrencies. The SEC's current approach, is just been way too heavy-handed and is stifling innovation. The SEC should work with the crypto industry and develop clear, comprehensive, and relevant regulations that will protect investors and promote innovation. So here's some specific sort of suggestions for how the SEC can adapt its regulatory framework. So firstly, the SEC should develop a new regulatory framework for cryptocurrencies that is based on the unique characteristics of this particular asset class. The SEC should work with crypto industry to develop clear and concise guidance on how to comply with the law, because no one knows. So how can people violate laws when they don't know what they are? And the SEC should be more proactive in engaging with the crypto industry and providing feedback on proposed projects. Furthermore, I think the SEC should focus on enforcement actions against bad actors rather than pursuing every potential violation. Just think FTX, for example. But by taking these steps, the SEC can ensure that it remains relevant in the crypto industry and that it can protect investors and promote innovation in this emerging market. What does this all mean? The SEC needs to evolve to adapt to the rapidly changing financial landscape. The rise of fintech, digital assets, and other innovative financial technologies is challenging the traditional financial system. The SEC needs to find a way to balance innovation with investor protection and market integrity. It's also important to promote financial inclusion in the new financial ecosystem. So the SEC has a long and successful history of adapting to change. Like, think of what it did with the internet, for example. As we move to the new era of finance, the SEC will need to continue to learn, adapt, and evolve. I've got a couple of examples here of how the SEC could evolve. So firstly, increase its use of technology. The SEC could use technology to more effectively monitor and enforce regulation. So, for example, it could use AI to identify potential fraud and market manipulation. Furthermore, it could work with regulators around the world. The SEC could work with regulators in other countries to coordinate regulations of cross-border financial transactions. And this would help to prevent fraud and, protect investors. Remember, in crypto, we're doing this overseas all the time. This is happening every day. But they also need to foster the innovation. Now, the SEC could create a regulatory sandbox where new financial technologies can be tested without fear of violating regulations. So like a test net, if you like, because this would help to encourage innovation and promote competition. Now, the SEC faces a number of challenges as it moves into the new era of finance, but it has a long history of success and is well positioned to adapt to change. With careful planning and execution, the SEC can continue to play a vital role in protecting investors and ensuring the integrity of the financial market. So that brings us to the end of this two-part series. Do remember to click the like button, hit subscribe, and hit that bell button for the notification. You get notified of all our stuff. And as I said, this is a summed up version. So do click on the link below if you want to see, in the description, if you want to see the full article that was done by BlockSplained. Now, I am Josh from ATM Stakepool, your presenter for today, and I'll see you next time. Thank you.